Let's start with the history. Football as we know it started in the 1800s. It was a mix of rugby and soccer and eventually developed into its own sport. The first official college football game was played in 1869 between colleges Rutgers and Princeton. And from there, the game began to grow in popularity across the United States. That was by History.com. Football has come to represent more than just scoring touchdowns. At its core, it symbolizes teamwork, strategy, and perseverance. Every play requires trust between players, and every win or loss comes from how well they work together. Over time, football became a major part of American culture, something people look forward to every weekend and talk about for days after. Now that we understand the roots of football, let's dive into one of its most iconic traditions. One of the most recognizable parts of football is tailgating. Tailgating is when fans gather in parking lots before the game to eat, play games, and show off their team pride. It's a pre-game tradition full of music, food, and celebration. And according to Sporting News, tailgating has become a form of social bonding where people come together to share in the excitement long before kickoff. But why is tailgating so important? It builds a strong sense of community. People who have never met suddenly became best friends just because they are wearing the same jersey. It's a moment where strangers become teammates and fans turn game day into an experience that's about more than just a score. For me, football isn't just something I watch, it's something that I am connected to. My favorite football team is the Carolina Panthers, and I started following them because I was drawn in by the energy of the fan base and the excitement of watching certain players rise in their careers. NFL.com. Over time, cheering for the Panthers became a tradition in my life. Win or lose, I stick with them, and watching their games has become something I look forward to every week. My favorite positions to watch are quarterback and defensive tackle. The quarterback is like the brain of the offense, calling plays, making decisions, and leading the team. On the other side, the defensive tackle shows off raw power and strategy. They're the ones making those big stops that change momentums of the game. That's why you see defensive tackles being 6'5" and 300 pounds compared to a quarterback who might be 6'2" and 200 pounds. And when it comes to quarterbacks, I've really enjoyed watching two in particular, Cam Newton and now Bryce Young. Cam Newton was the face of the Panthers for years. From 2015, he was drafted in 2011, but his 2015 Super Bowl season was amazing. He was a force, and he brought so much energy and swagger to the field. You could feel it every time he scored, and he hit that signature Superman celebration. That's why his nickname was Superman. In 2015, he led the team to a 15-1 regular season and won the NFL MVP, the highest QB-rated award, or any player. That season felt like magic for Panthers fans, including me. That's what made me love the Carolina Panthers. He wasn't afraid to take risk, run the ball himself, or bring some flash to his game. What made Cam stand out wasn't just the stats, it was the way he made football exciting. Everyone had highlights of Cam Newton in his prime. Running, trampling over players, jumping, arguing. He had that raw energy that a player needs. But for me, watching Cam helped define why I fell in love with the team. He made being a Panthers fan feel powerful. It was something that I could talk about and something that I could argue with other team fans about. Now the torch has passed on to Bryce Young, the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft in 2023. I have watched him since Alabama days in college, and watching him step up into such a big role has been so exciting for me. It's like I'm growing with him as a teammate. Bryce is different from Cam in a lot of ways. He's more calm and calculated, more focused on reading defenses and making precise throws. He doesn't have the same flash yet, but you could see some potential that he has. Even though the team's been rebuilding, which means getting new players to make the team better, I think Bryce has the skills to be a true MVP. I think he has the power to be better than Cam Newton. He could be an NFL Hall of Famer. He's shown glimpses of what he can become, and it's fun to think we could be watching the early days of the Panthers' next great quarterback. These two players, even though they're very different in style, they both represent something important in football. Cam shows the true power of confidence in taking control, and Bryce shows patience, growth, and a focus on the future. Watching them has helped me appreciate how quarterback position can mean different things depending on the player and the moment. Now back to current Canaan.